Today, Toot'S Ibbert's nephew, Wilbert Ibbert, says he wants his uncle's funeral to be as big like Bob Marley. A very pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the People's Forum of In the Streets with Big Stone. Today's a beautiful day. I feel happy, I feel great within myself, and my spirits are very high. But today I also got a phone call from a great human being, a great humanitarian, a brother by the name of Sean Statement. And I just want to take this time out and big up Sean's Statement and big up Jennifer's Statement from Ear Statement. They're located at 610 South 56th Street, Philadelphia. And I just want to big them up because I did a story recently and I made a request to see if we can get a wheelchair for a young man that I know that badly needs a wheelchair. And when I put that in the atmosphere, Sean immediately saw what was going on and he reached out to me, and pretty soon that young man is going to have a wheelchair. So ladies and gentlemen, I will be presenting that wheelchair for you to see, and to see that other Jamaicans can think the same way like how Sean's Statement think. Give back to Jamaica. Don't give it to Big Stone. I'm just the vessel. I'll be the vessel. Give back to your fellow Jamaicans because they need help from outside. Trust me, the pandemic is going bad and there's a whole lot of other stuff that they really and truly need help. But let's go back to we want to take this time out and pick up the Gleaner again for this one. This is a beautiful story, but let's go to the Gleaner and hear what's going on. Wilbert Hibbert, the nephew of late reggae superstar Toot'S Hibbert, dedicated Wednesday to fasting and praying for nothing short of a miracle as it relates to the final send-off of his beloved uncle. Jamaica is in the throes of a pandemic, and the rules of engagement demand mask wearing, social distancing, and the elimination of church service for funerals, which are allowed a mere handful of mourners. And Wilbert Ibbert is as dismissive of a church gathering as he is adamant that his uncle deserved and should be accorded a funeral as big as that of reggae king Bob Marley. We don't want any church service. I have zero tolerance for a little church thing. Zero tolerance. Wilbert, 59, told the Gleaner, knowing who my uncle is, he's supposed to get a big send-off. My uncle is not just for Maypen, he's for the whole world. We're talking about the man who created the world reggae, the man who put the R in reggae. My vision is to see a parade led by Prime Minister Andrew Onis and the Minister of Culture, Gender and Entertainment and Sports, Oliver Grange. Him Toot'S have to come down here like how Bob Marley go to St. Anne. And him serious. Wilbert wish list also include the body of the international acclaimed Frederick Toot'S Ibbert, lying in state at the National Stadium or Arena, where its fans can go and pay their respect. I love that. I love that part there. My brother, sister, and my entire family fasting and praying for my uncle to get this final crown and to be put to rest in style. I see it happen for Bob Marley and I was so proud. My uncle Toot'S, who I call Naya Bingi, has a long history with the stadium. That is where he did a lot of his great performances, like his winning festival songs. That is why the parade should start right there, Wilbert outlined. The Hibbert family on Monday stated in a release that the remains of the renowned reggae pioneer will be buried in Maypen, Clarendon. We as a family have decided that our father will be buried in his hometown in Maypen. Jenny Bennett, the eldest daughter of the late icon, said in the statement, Wilbert was quite happy when it was revealed that Toots will be taking the country road back home. The whole family agrees for him to come back home to where his mother, father, and 3 brothers and sister are buried. He needs to take the country road back to the place where he belongs. You don't need anything plainer than that, Wilbert Ibbott was quoted in a release. Here's more. But he told Igbina that he still can't believe that his uncle has died, and related the last conversation between him and the man who was like a father to him. He was down here in Treadlight, and then he called me a few days later to say that rain wet him and he wasn't feeling too well, and I just make some medicine for him. I prepare it and call him but didn't get him. Then I called his driver and he said that Naya said his stomach was hurting and he couldn't come that day, so I should put it in the fridge and he would come the following day. When I called next day, I hear that Sister Doreen, Toot'S wife, had to rush him to the hospital the night because he took a turn for the worse. And from that, I don't hear a word from my uncle. All now the medicine in the fridge waiting for my uncle to come for it. The family has so far not revealed an official date for the memorial service and farewell for the reggae pioneer. It's a lot to ensure that everything is done in the right manner because of the huge international interest in our father's legacy and music. We're working assiduously to ensure everything is properly organized before we announce the eventual funeral date, and we plan to ensure that all COVID-19 protocols are observed and implemented for the funeral, Bailey said in the release. So the long and short of the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, Wilbert Ibbott, Toot'S Ibbott's nephew, is praying. He has been fasting for all of Wednesday so that his uncle can be buried with dignity. He wants the same amount of accolades, funeral led by the prime ministers. He wants all the big top echelons to come out and to show support for a man that gave back so much to Jamaica. So this is a great news. This is I'm rooting for him, and I think that the government is going to do it. I just think that they should do it because Toots have done so much for this country and is still doing even in its death. So let's see how this unfolds. Alright, but we're rooting. I want to hear your comment in the comment section below. We're rooting. I want you to say whether Toots should be given a funeral as big as Bob Marley or even bigger, because there are more people open to the internet and social media and so on. Let's hear from you in the comment section. Alright, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. And thank you very much for liking and sharing my video. If you have not yet subscribed, now is the time to do it. Sean, statement, big up yourself. Big Stone salute you, and the next little child will be getting a wheelchair, courtesy of ear statement. See, Rastafari live.